morning, my morning prep nugget listeners. It's 6 a.m. in the morning, and I don't know about you, but for me, I'm just getting out of bed with my coffee right here. Welcome to a brand new season of Morning Prep Nugget Podcast Season 2. I am your host, Ebomesi Bile. I am beyond excited to kick off Season 2 with an amazing episode today. So whether you're still half asleep, you're at home, heading to work, or starting your day, this podcast is here to give you that inspiration to own your day. And for this episode, we'll be discussing daily habits of game changers. And guess what? We're starting with a powerhouse guest. Joining me this morning is someone who is a game changer herself. I mean, she's done it all: broadcasting, advertising, writing, and even leading her own media company. She's none other than the beautiful Miss Oghale Mafuru. She's the brilliant mind behind the brand Colossus and was the anchor of Marketing Edge on TV for about 2 years. So if you have ever tuned into the world of Nigerian advertising, you all should know Miss Oghale's name. Miss Oghale, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing awesomely well. I woke up from the right side of the bed. So yes, I'm good. Ready to yeah.
It is important to wake up at the right side of the bed. All right. So thank you for agreeing to wake up this early for us. We appreciate you. And if you own your money, you have already won the day. So that's where the magic actually happens. Let's jump right into it. You have had such an incredible journey, almost a decade in broadcasting, now leading your own media company, and then you're absolutely killing it in brand journalism. And I really, really love it. Okay, it's like you didn't just follow the industry, you led it. Like you are really leading it. So speaking of leading, let's talk about habits, which is our topic for today. You know, everyone talks about game changers and how they are wired differently. So we want to know your secrets. What do you think are the habits that, you know, really sets people apart, really make people to become leaders in their industry? And please, my listeners are waiting to hear all your secrets.
Yeah. So I hope I spill everything. If we have the time, really. But yes, I would say that people who are successful definitely are doing something right, and I would say that personally, they were things that I imbibed unconsciously as a result of how I was brought up. I was brought up by parents who never really wanted us to go out, and I had to spend most of my time at home trying to figure out things on my own. And in the process, I developed some habits that I would say have been instrumental to my growth in my career. And one of those habits will be that, of course, the first thing I do in the morning would be that I do pray. I pray to God. Because again, I believe in the supernatural power of God, and I also believe that everything that I've achieved has been by His grace and mercies. And I also found wisdom to lead me in everything that I do. So yes, I do make my prayers in the morning. I'm also one who wakes up very early in the morning, so it's almost like you teasing the day early. I also believe in the fact that when you wake up in the morning, early in the morning, it helps you to put your day into perspective. Exactly. It helps you to own your day. You plan your day effectively. I've had days that I don't wake up on time, and it's always like the day is rushed. And it's almost, you can't keep track of what you're expected to do and what you have even done for the day. It's almost like the day moves so fast, and there's really nothing you have really done that makes any sense. But when you wake up early in the morning, you are able to plan how your day would go, even though sometimes it may be eventualities, but you are more likely to have control of your day if you wake up early. Yeah. I usually wake up as early as 3:30, sometimes 4 o'clock.
Wow, and that's very early. Do you stay in Lagos?
Yes, I do stay in
Oh, no
Lagos.
wonder.
Well, aside that too, it depends on what I plan to achieve for that day. Sometimes I wake up as early as 1 a.m. I think 2 days ago I had a couple of things to do, so I was awake for 12. I slept early because I knew I would have to wake up that early. So
Early,
I
yeah.
woke up at 12 a.m. and I was up till the following day in the evening. That day was very unusual. But yes, my normal routine would be that I wake up for 4, and it's not because I have to leave the house early, but it's because I want to take advantage of the quietness of that morning before everyone starts moving around, distracting my brain. That early morning is usually the time that I'm most creative. So that's really understanding you as a person. I have understood myself over time that early in the morning, when everywhere is very quiet, that's the time I'm most creative. And so I wake up that early, I pray, and then I stay quiet. So another thing is meditation, I would say. I spend a lot of time with myself. And I would really advocate that people learn to spend enough time with themselves,
Yeah.
because that is where you can really tap into your internal environment. That's where you can tap into your internal resources that can enable you win in the world around you. I would say that if you've not conquered the world within you, you can't conquer the world without. And so when you spend time with yourself, you understand your inherent capabilities, you understand where you need to improve, and it better helps you to understand what your purpose really is on earth. Because again, Mas Moron will say that when purpose is unknown, abuse is
inevitable. Yeah.
So if you do not know your purpose on earth, you will abuse even time. And time, you can never recover time that is lost. So, but when you know yourself well enough, you know your purpose, you know what to do at the right time, it helps you to maximize the limited time that you have effectively. And so one thing that ensures that you can maximize your time would be you really spending time with yourself to understand what the direction is for you for that day. And so when you spend time, by experience, when I spend time, I get a lot of ideas. I get a lot of direction. What should I do about my business? What should I do about my career? Who should I speak to? Who should I call? Because by morning, let's say by morning 6 o'clock, everybody is moving, everybody is running up and down. There's a lot of chaos going on in your brain, your mind. You can't think. So that quietness of the morning is usually ideal to help you tap into your internal environment, your creative power. Because every human have that creative ability residing in us. But you need the atmosphere to tap into that creativity. And usually for me as a person, it could be different for every other person out there. But for me, I know that the times that I'm most creative will be in the morning when everyone is quiet, everywhere is quiet, everyone is sleeping. And then I come out and I'm thinking. And then one thing again I do, I always have writing materials around. I'll tell you a scenario. There was a time that I woke up in the morning. I had literally dragged myself. It was around 3:30. And when I picked up my phone, I checked and it was around that time. I just felt that Oghale can't go back to sleep again. But I felt like me going back to sleep. And so I just dragged myself, went to the restroom, go back to the bed. I was just like very grumpy and everything. But I prayed and I managed to pray because I was really, really feeling sleepy. And after I prayed, I laid on the bed, my brain started thinking ideas. And because I always have writing materials, my eyes were closed, frankly speaking. I just grabbed my pen and I was just scribbling things. As it was coming, I was writing, I was flipping pages, I was just wondering. My eyes were, and it was dark because light was off. And I couldn't see what I was writing, but I was just, as the ideas
but you're writing, yeah.
I was just writing, I would flip page, I was writing, and then I dropped the book, I slept. When I woke up by morning, I checked what it was, I could barely even see what I had written because my eyes were closed. I was writing into the lines, out of the lines. When purpose is unknown, abuse
Abuse
is
is
inevitable.
inevitable. Yeah.
So if you do not know your purpose on earth, you will abuse even time. And time, you can never recover time that is lost. So, but when you know yourself well enough, you know your purpose, you know what to do at the right time, it helps you to maximize the limited time that you have effectively. And so, one thing that ensures that you can maximize your time would be you really spending time with yourself to understand what the direction is for you for that day. And so when you spend time, by experience, when I spend time, I get a lot of ideas. I get a lot of direction. What should I do about my business? What should I do about my career? Who should I speak to? Who should I call? Because by morning, let's say by morning 6 o'clock, everybody is moving, everybody is running up and down. There's a lot of chaos going on in your brain, your mind. You can't think. So that quietness of the morning is usually ideal to help you tap into your internal environment, your creative power. Because every human have that creative ability residing in us. But you need the atmosphere to tap into that creativity. And usually for me as a person, it could be different for every other person out there. But for me, I know that the times that I'm most creative will be in the morning when everyone is quiet, everyone is sleeping. And then I come out and I'm thinking. And then one thing again I do, I always have writing materials around. I'll tell you a scenario. There was a time that I woke up in the morning. I had literally dragged myself. It was around 3:30. And when I picked up my phone, I checked and it was around that time. I just felt that, okay, I can't go back to sleep again. But I felt like me going back to sleep. And so I just dragged myself, went to the restroom, go back to the bed. I was just like very grumpy and everything. But I prayed and I managed to pray because I was really, really feeling sleepy. And after I prayed, I laid on the bed, my brain started thinking ideas. And because I always have writing materials, my eyes were closed, frankly speaking. I just grabbed my pen and I was just scribbling things. As it was coming, I was writing, I was flipping pages, I was just, my eyes were, and it was dark because light was off. And I couldn't see what I was writing, but I was just, as the ideas
but you're writing, yeah.
I was just writing, I'll flip page, I was writing, and then I dropped the book, I slept. When I woke up by morning, I checked if you see it was, I could barely even see what I had written because my eyes were closed. I was writing into the lines, out of the lines, but I could understand the thoughts I had put down there. And I had to start developing those thoughts into actionable steps. So that's another thing. When you wake up in the morning, of course, I say my prayers. I meditate. That's another thing I do. I spend time with myself. I think about things that are happening around me. What are the lessons I'm learning from this experience or from that experience that person told me about. So it's about you, because I figure that in the hustle of life, we miss a lot of things. You understand? You wake up in the morning, you're out of, into your day, you are back by evening, you make your dinner, you sleep. It's so easy for us to lose track of the events happening around us and the significance of these events. So everything that happens is a lesson to us. But it's easy for you to just live every day as it comes and really lose track of those things that are really important. So those moments you spend to meditate, it helps you to harness some of those learnings, take them in, and you grow into the person you're meant to be. So yes, my daily habits will be I pray, I meditate, and then I write a lot. You write your vision, you write your thoughts, and then you put down actionable steps that you should take to achieve your goals.
Yeah.
If there are people you need to speak to, you speak to them. If there are places you need to visit, you go ahead. So you need to put the steps into actions. And then another thing I I also do, I have people that I'm accountable to.
Accountability. Okay.
Yes, it is easy for you to put the ideas, put the thoughts, the steps, and everything, and do nothing about it. But when you speak to someone that shares the same vision with you, that person becomes your accountability partner that will constantly be asking you, what's up? What have you done with this thing you said you would?
Exactly. That's true. That's true.
So, because again, you know the person is going to ask, you don't want to have nothing to say. It just puts you in check, and you just have to do what you have to do regardless. So, I have had moments where I fight with myself. I know there's something I must do. My body doesn't feel like doing it. Did you get that? So when we talk about people that are living in their right, they have internal struggles. They are no superhumans here. The only thing is that we have been able to, regardless of the way we feel, to remain steadfast and committed. And we have put some machinery, some resources around us that helps us to stick to the plan. So you can make plans, you can put all the action steps and everything you want to do and still do nothing. But we have made it a necessity to have things around us that makes it important for us to take those actions. So having an accountability partner really does help. So yeah, those are just the highlights of the steps, what are happening for everything.
Thank you.
So far.
Thank you so much. In fact, thank you for all the amazing insights. I'm definitely feeling inspired to step up my own habits, From all that you have said, one thing that stands out when we talk about habits of game changers is how they value their time, especially the time spent with themselves, right? As Maxwell would say, you would never change your life until you change something that you do daily. So starting your day early creates space for deep thinking, like you said, self-reflection and creativity before the busyness of the world takes over. It is during these early hours that many people find they are at their most focused and creative space. Tapping into that clarity allows them to perform at their best. So thank you so much, Miss Oghale. I really appreciate your words. All right.
Thank you.
So to our listeners, I hope you have picked up some golden nuggets today to help you become the game changer you are destined to be. And then remember the words of a wise man that says success is the sum of small efforts repeated daily, right? So before we go, where can our listeners connect with you and learn about your work?
Okay, so thank you again for having me on this platform. It's always a great delight to share thoughts with people who can find it very useful for themselves. So yes, you can contact me on Instagram, Facebook. Of course, I have a brand called the brand Colossus, and if you check that on Google, you will be linked to our various social media pages. My name is Oghale Abikele, and you can also find that name if you check it out on Google. You find my handles and everything. And I'm open to having conversations, any kind of way that I can inspire people. I'm always interested to be part of it because I'm a product of mentors, mentorship and everything like that. People have inspired me and still inspiring me, and I think it's a very fundamental part to anybody's growth. So I'm open to doing any of that. So yeah, feel free to reach out, and I'll be glad to help. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ma. Thank you so much once again. And to everyone listening, don't forget to start your day with purpose and consistency. Until next episode, stay inspired, stay productive, and keep slaying your mornings with Morning Prep Nugget Podcast. Kindly follow us on Instagram, join the WhatsApp group, and also listen to this episode on YouTube. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.